Works at Equitrust.
Yeah, you're the face. All right, here we go. Okay, we're gonna have a 10-second countdown.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Collins. I'm with URL Insurance Group. I'm an annuity specialist here at URL, focusing on single premium life, traditional life insurance, annuities, and long-term care. So first off, I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with us today. Those of you that are currently on the call today that are new to URL, I want to personally thank you. We understand that you have many options as to where you place your business, and that's why we appreciate you working with URL. And we will promise to continue our dedication to your success. You know, URL is a full-service family national brokerage that has been working with agents like yourself, offering back office support for over 35 years. Like I said earlier, URL provides single premium life, fixed and indexed annuities, traditional life products, as well as individual and group health products. We also have a senior division that offers Medicare Sup and Medicare Advantage products. Additionally, URL has what we call our Orion platform, and it's in its simplest of forms. What the Orion program provides is an opportunity for agents to generate business in areas that they've traditionally passed on. So simply give us a call, refer us the agent, give us the name, and we'll see the sale through from start to finish and then compensate the agent. A lot of times that's good, especially for Medicare agents right now. If a annuity or a single premium life conversation happens during their Medicare visit, what they'll do is they don't have the time or energy to do that. They'll reach out to us, and then we will call, and then we will go over and make the sale. So take a moment after the webinar, tour our website. It's www.urlinsgroup.com. You know, just kick around, see if there's any additional avenues for URL to assist you. So I'm extremely excited to present this unique long-term care solution using Equitrust Bridges Insurance. You know, we've all seen recent events in the world that are affecting people's hard-earned money. And, you know, honestly, during this time of uncertainty, those that have protected themselves and their retirement portfolio have positioned themselves for a strong and vibrant future. So with over 70% of baby boomers needing some sort of long-term care before they die, those of you that are having that conversation right now will be on the forefront of this massive wave of sales. So today we're going to discuss how the Equitrust Bridge Insurance can fill these portfolio gaps with your client and can turn a potentially bad situation into a breathe easy moment for your clients and, more importantly, their families. I want to introduce Andrew Gabrielson. Andrew is the internal wholesaler at Equitrust, and he's going to go over exactly how the Equitrust Bridge Insurance portfolio and product works. I think it's fantastic. It's so unique. There's nothing else that's like out there that I'm aware of. So I'm not going to steal any of your thunder, Andrew. I do want to mention, though, before we get started, there is some questions and answers box on the right side of the screen. So if you have any questions, type them in, and we'll certainly answer them at the end of the broadcast. All right, Andrew, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Jason, for having me on today. I'm filling in for one of my partners, Leon Fitch. He had to do another recording today, so he asked me to jump in and take this on with you guys. And yeah, this is an exciting product. Like Jason said, I haven't seen something like this in the industry before. I've been an internal wholesaler for the last 20 years, and you know, there's a lot of need out here for this product right now. And like Jason said, just to piggyback off, you know, 70% of the people do need long-term care sooner than later. And I think this is a key product that can definitely help them out. So let's jump into this product here and discuss a little bit what we have going on. So the agenda today is just addressing, you know, the long-term care coverage gap, where this product can fill in and supplement where we're different. Also, we have a wellness program. It's a Never Stop program that's embedded into this this product, which is it's a neat little health coaching program that will keep people not sedentary, try to keep them active and things like that. We'll go over the product details in general, product positioning, licensing and training, and then just there's a video there, but the video will actually be in the actual microsite where I can show you where to actually go for that. Now, why bridge? A lot of people will ask, what is this like? I always make an example what this is like. This is an index annuity. So it's an index annuity chassis. So if you're familiar with an index annuity chassis with a lifetime income benefit rider, this is going to be very similar. It's going to be an index annuity with a long-term care rider. So that's kind of the way I always explain it. It's just attached to it for that reason. If people need a long-term care or if people need a lifetime income, it does have flexible premium, so you can add additional money to this at any time. So that's a nice thing there. Simplified underwriting with guaranteed approval. Yeah, that's right. You heard guaranteed approval. There's no denial here from the standpoint of, at about age 65, half of the people get denied in true long-term care. So we do have a guaranteed approval here. We talked about the wellness program there a little bit ago. Indemnity claim process, that's another exciting advantage to our product, where you don't need receipts to claim the actual benefit. The custom LTC benefit, one size fits none. The charge structure, and then a completely digital process, meaning from the application standpoint. All right, Jason kind of went over this a little bit, but the concerns. Leon always says the dilemma. Well, or excuse me, Leon always says the problem. It's not the dilemma; it's the problem, right? 88% of us decrease in the insurers of traditional long-term care. Like we talked about here a little bit ago, 70% of those turning 65 today will need some level of support, like we just talked about. And as you can see, the numbers here. Over on the right-hand side, these probably have increased a little bit. I know that this might be a year or so old, so prices have increased for skilled care, whether it's nursing home or just in-home care. So definitely is something that we need to look at from that standpoint of how much we do need to supplement from what they do have currently for retirement, plus what they would have here in the bridge product. How can bridge help your clients? Well, like we talked about, there's three important objectives. You've got once again, the index annuity ability to protect and grow assets. It's a principal protection for an index annuity, so there's no market volatility. The long-term care coverage, once again, is the actual rider that we have available that's attached to the index annuity. And then the wellness part of it, which is the Never Stop program. So all entails the actual bridge product there for the objectives. Now we're going to talk about a little bit about the actual product itself and how things work with the actual long-term care coverage ratio. Let me go back here one slide. There we go. All right. So with the long-term care coverage ratio, say you put in $100,000, right? And we've got three different underwriting classes here. We got a preferred, we got a standard, and we got a secure rating. Preferred's our best rating, of course. So at age 55, if you got a 325%, you put 100,000 in, you're going to have a 325,000 initial benefit base starting right away. There is a vesting schedule to this, and that's something I can discuss here in a little bit. But like I said, 325,000, that goes a long ways there for an actual coverage for the benefit. Here's a little bit of the product details. Issue ages 55 to 80. Minimum premium $50,000. Non-qualified only right now. We are looking into qualified. That may be down the road here, and hopefully 2025 that we will get qualified only, or excuse me, qualified as well. Once again, flexible premium. It is a 10-year surrender charge. Okay. It does have a 10% penalty free after the first year, just like you would on your index annuities. So that's a nice thing if you need any access to the money. The accumulation value potential, it's got 5 different indexes and a flexible benefit base. Go over the rates a little bit here. The fixed bucket right now is at 4.5%, so very competitive in that space, especially with CDs and money market accounts where they're definitely going lower than that now. So we still are very competitive in that space for the fixed rate cap 8%. Then the participation rate, 80%. And then you've got your Focus 50 and Mark 5, which is our volatility indexes that you can utilize as well. Um, those are something, as you can see here, how we illustrate those are illustrated rates just based upon the past performance of these indexes. So we just go ahead and illustrate those in the illustration themselves. The riders here, nursing care, terminal illness, those are very, very common in the index annuity across the board. They're automatically included at no cost. Then you do have the long-term care rider attached, automatically included. There is that monthly charge, and I can kind of go over into that a little bit from the monthly charge standpoint. The premium load is a 1% for the first year premium. So if you put in 100,000, it would be $1,000 for that first year for the cost for the premium load there. And then you have the Never Stop Wellness rider that's automatically included. That is $100 per year. Now for the Never Stop Wellness rider, you can opt out of that if you want. If the clients decide they just don't want to pay, additional cost, they can opt out of that. So we've got the long-term care, once again, automatically included in here. That would include the guaranteed issue can never lapse. We've got tax-free long-term care benefits, flexible coverage of current chooses initial coverage up to the maximum. We got the inflation protection. The LTC coverage does grow at 2% per year. So I always make an example once again of like a lifetime income benefit rider. A lot of times they have roll-ups of like 6-7% compounded per year for up to say 10 years. Well, with this one, it's got a 2% roll-up for up to 20 years compounded annually. So that's a nice thing that it does increase the long-term care benefit based upon that. And then obviously ability to earn your additional long-term care coverage through the Never Stop program. We go into a little bit more of the long-term care rider to cover the expenses. If the client chooses the initial long-term care benefit base up to the coverage ratio, it'll be based upon the issue age and the risk class. Our maximum year, coverage is $1 million. So we do have a handy dandy calculator in the actual microsite of our agent site where you can go in and figure how much initial premium you'll need for $1 million for long-term care coverage. So that's a nice little feature there, and it just makes it easy for you. So when you want to go run a illustration, then you can just plug in that actual initial premium for that. How do you access the actual long-term care rider? Well, it's very easy. It's just failing 2 of the 6 ADLs. We do have a form that the actual doctor will fill out. They do need to renew that every single year for failing 2 of the 6 ADLs or severe cognitive impairment. The doctor does provide a plan of care, and the client must be a U.S. resident. Here you see the benefits are indemnity based. So like I talked about, there's no receipts required, which is huge. Unlike, traditional long-term care, you've got your receipts you have to submit in order to pay whoever you're going to pay for that. Annual certification required for continued benefits. Like I explained, the doctor does need to renew that. And then the benefits are tax-free up to the IRS maximum per diem on the IRS code. Assured underwriting process. We do partner with a company called Assured Allies. They are the people that do our underwriting. Okay. So our underwriting process is a very state of the art. It's a Zoom where they just go in, the client and the actual Assured Allies quality assurance person, and they'll do 7 questions of cognitive ability and 7 questions of physical ability. So they'll go through that. And like I said, it takes less than 30 minutes. Very painful. I always recommend that the agent does go in, or the client does go into the agent's office, just so that they have a good internet connection. Because a lot of times, if the client doesn't have a good internet connection, at the office or at their home, excuse me, then that underwriting will have to be rescheduled, and it, obviously can kind of be a pain. So the agent can get them set up and set up nicely that way. There is a quick decision on the secure and standard preferred. So after the 30 minutes, it comes back pretty quickly that day of whether they got secure, standard, or preferred. There's no medical or prescription records on this. So, there's no obviously blood or any of that as well. There's 5 pre-screening questions that they need to answer. Um, the first 3 that there are on the 5 pre-screening questions, if they do answer yes to any of those first 3 questions, then they're automatically a secure rating. But the nice thing about our product is that, once again, like I said, it is guaranteed approved. There's no denial on this product. So that still is a nice thing to our product compared to other competitors out there that can deny you. There's built-in fraud prevention, and also designed, limit on human bias and judgment from that standpoint when it comes to underwriting. All right, so here's an example of David, age 65, retired, single, 3 grown children. His objectives: live independently as long as possible, preserve his assets, and avoid burning his children for assistance as he ages. And that's one thing, Leon, or I always discuss as well. We don't want to burden our family, right? We want to be able to pay for this on our own, and not have to burden our family for the support that we need in the difficult times in long-term care. So you see 250,000 for initial premium, preferred class, and the coverage ratios I kind of showed you a little bit before this. In this instance, age 65 is a 315%. So you got 250 times 315, $787,000 500 benefit base there. Now, like I explained, if 100,000 is easier, 315, that'd be 315,000, of course, there. So, like we talked about, David's successful aging plan, he wants his sleep health, and this is we're talking about a little bit more about the Never Stop Wellness program now, a little bit in the standpoint of now he has the actual um, product, and he is aging through. He's 65, and it depends on when he turns on the claim, but say 65 to 80. Here's a perfect plan that he has, and the health coach that will work with them. It kind of goes over these objectives and how those things can work for them to, like I said, keep them healthy throughout that aging process. Here's a perfect example now of how, visually that benefit shows here. So, like we had talked about, with 757 or 787,500, but with that 10 years of 2% guaranteed annual growth compounded, now it's at 959,958 10 years later. So that's a pretty substantial, nice benefit for the client to be able to use for that long-term care. Now, the Never Stop Wellness credits, like we've been talking about, um, are 3 objectives that the health coach will go over in those 2 years during their aging of the index annuity. And I always put this, say it's a cherry on the top. Now, do they have to use it? No, not necessarily. But like I said, it keeps them active, keeps them not being sedentary. And if you do achieve these credits, then obviously there's an additional $67,953 on top of that benefit base to do that. So in the end, in 5 years and 60 months divided by that is 17,132 for a monthly benefit. So a very nice benefit for the clients to, once again, be able to utilize to pay whatever they need to pay. Once again, and there's no indemnity. So if they're getting taken care of at home, or if they're in a facility or whatever it may be, especially at home, they can pay their bills however they want to pay them. They can pay, for groceries, they can pay their long-term care um, person, however they want to use that is how they want to use that. So that's the beauty of this indemnity process. Sales opportunities, like we talked about, non-qualified money only, but you've got 1035 exchanges from annuities or life insurance that may be low cash value, right? whether it's whole life or annuities, that just rates are not good right now. Say from 10 years ago, rates are very competitive now, definitely, especially since we haven't lowered the rates on our bridge for 2 years. So that's the beauty of that. Um, Money market, checking, savings, CDs, money sitting on the sidelines called dusty money, or just mattress cash, sitting there. Great opportunity to put them into something to get them an enhanced death benefit or an enhanced long-term care benefit. Clients previously uninsurable for traditional long-term care, like we had talked about, the true long-term care, 65% or 50% of the people that turn 65 do get denied. And like we were talking about a little bit ago before this call with Jason, 90% of the companies are no longer out there. So the 10% of the companies that are out there right now that true long-term care keep raising their rates. And with this, you continually keep paying in that long-term care. Say they never use that long-term care, well, that money is gone. The primary beneficiaries will not get it or anything to that extent. So I think that is definitely key. With our index annuity, you think about, say if they never use this long-term care benefit, the primary beneficiary is going to get that contract value of whatever the indexes have grown at. So that's the flexibility of being able to have the primary beneficiary take access of this money if they never use that long-term care benefit. Like we talked about, alternative traditional long-term care, and then the annual reviews of the doctor saying they're still failing 2 of their 6 ADLs. Licensing and training, of course, a lot of people out there that maybe in other spaces and maybe never dealt with long-term care before, you do need, depending on the state, but you do need your health license, life accident health, or life, the actual Equitrust product training. Where we can find that, you can find the proper line of authority on our actual agent site of what you actually need for your state. Or you can contact URL, or you can contact us from the standpoint of what you would need for the state in order to achieve to be able to sell the actual bridge product. Here's the bridge microsite. The beauty of that is you do everything here. It's a one-stop shop. Okay, you come in here, you do your illustrations, you do your underwriting here, and you do the application. So I would say, if you're an agent, the first thing I did when I first started here, I came in here and just dove in and learned the product this way. That was the best way to do that. And then when you do have questions, just write them down, and you can give, obviously Jason a call or I a call, whatever. If Jason's not around, you can give me a call, just to answer those questions of some of the things you may have not understood. If you do run an illustration, feel free to reach out to us as well to go over those illustrations from that standpoint. Like I said, though, but you do have marketing materials on there for the agent, and then you do have marketing materials on there for the client. So the nice thing is we do have some pre-approved client marketing materials that you can mail out or email out to clients that are already client approved. Now, when you do put the information on, you'll want to make sure to send it back into us just to confirm that actual marketing, and, everything is compliant with Equitrust and all of that. But it's a great way to get our product and name out there for sure. So the microsite is definitely a website that I would go to right away, dive in, and any questions you do have, just write them down for sure. So, and then also just the sales experience. Like I said, this is, as far as I know, the only fully digital process to make it easy for you and your clients from the standpoint of the application process. It's like Firelight, where it's hard to mess up. There's no NIGO items. You put everything in, and it submits it, and then we get it. Very convenient video interview, less than 30 minutes from the standpoint of underwriting, 7 questions for physical and 7 questions for cognitive. As far as the underwriting process goes, like I said, quick and underwriting decision there. So that's really all I have today. Any questions that I can answer for you? And like I said, Jason or I definitely can answer any of those, going out to the agent site as well, to that microsite, to answer those questions too as well. So
yeah, so great job, Andrew. I appreciate that. Very informative. I have one question, one statement here for myself is, the statement is indemnity versus reimbursement. For me, I think a lot of times, even though the reimbursement plans will suit 90% of the bills that you're going to have, it's those ancillary things that people don't think about. There's peripheral, the who's going to cut my grass. We live in Pennsylvania. Who's going to shovel my snow? With an indemnity style product like Bridge, now you can take a couple bucks and pay little Johnny down the street to help you out, rake leaves or do stuff like that. So to me, the indemnity payout is just so beneficial and so crucial. And there's things that people overlook with that. And that's one of them. So,
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I love the fact that this is an indemnity style based product. Now, the question that we had was, you mentioned flexible premium. So now even I learned things on here because I understood that it to be a single pay. So did that change? And if so, obviously, was it always flexible? And talk to me about the flexibility of it. Is it that in order to get the product, initially they would have the single payment? And then what does the flexible premiums look like after that if somebody wants to do? Is it systematic? Is it as they see fit?
Yeah, so it's a great question. Once again, I turn it over to the example of the index annuity and lifetime income benefit rider. Those are flexible premium here at Equitrust. It's the same thing. You can add money until you actually turn on the benefit. So now the initial benefit that you do get, say you put in 100,000 in, and for that example, we had like a 315% coverage ratio. So that's 315,000, right? Initially right away that day. Now, if you put money in later on, it's just going to stack on top of that 315. Then it's not going to recalculate the actual coverage ratio or anything to that extent. But yeah, it's just dollar for dollar putting in, just on. So if you put in 100,000 and, say a year later, now it's 125,000 in the accumulation, then you're just putting in 100,000 and now it's 225. So it is flexible until you actually turn the claim on, though.
Okay,
so you can't add any more money until.
You'd be surprised at how many conversations that I have just for that reason right there. They don't want it to be just just a standard single premium. They want options to add. So that's good. So, other than that, Andrew, I am not seeing any questions. So I'm sure I'll get a bunch of them after the fact.
Perfect.
So, with that being said, if there are questions that come out after, we get off the call, if you rewatch this, if you're thinking about anything and, you just need to talk it out, give me a call. My direct line is 717-216-8038. That goes right to my desk. And my email address is jasonc, JASONC @urlinsgroup.com. Either way is fine. I'll get back to you, within the day, within a few hours, within the hour, within the minutes, depending on what's going on. So, I'm here. Thank you very much, Andrew. I appreciate the partnership with Equitrust. Again, next weekend, we're going to continue with the long-term care awareness webinar series. We're going to have Nationwide come in, also indemnity, but to me, Equitrust is definitely the way to go. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Tell Leon we missed him.
I will do that. Have a great day.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.